then it goes up a little bit more, and then guess what? It comes crashing down, and everybody else is screaming on top of their lungs because they mortgaged their house and put all of their savings into cryptocurrency, praying for passive income for years to come. Vigorous Steve here, back to answer all of your bodybuilding related questions for the Vigorous Q&A. Today's question is from York Iron Aesthetics. As a young bodybuilder, how would you try to establish passive income streams? Well, York Iron, just got to remember that there's no such thing as true passive income. You always have to manage your income streams accordingly, and whether that's a lot of work or a tiny amount of work, let's say 10 minutes per week, you still have to manage and ensure that your income stays sustained. So that could be very passive, borderline to no work at all, or a ton of work to the point it's basically a full-time job. Now, the only real passive income that exists is being born to very wealthy parents, where you already got your unlimited credit cards where you were still in the cradle. And even then, you still have to pretend, or at least try to love them so that income stream stays sustained. Because the last thing you want is to fuck up when your parents are very, very rich and then they cut off the tap and now you've developed no skills. You can't really do anything and then you have to go off the deep end. Right? Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, please like the video, leave a comment for the algorithm, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. For everybody else that wasn't born to rich parents, or they have rich parents that still make you work and grind, this video is for you. If you're young and you're looking to make passive income, keep in mind, again, there's no such thing as passive income. A lot of people say that cryptocurrency is passive income. Let me just give you guys some fair warning. Cryptocurrency is a roller coaster, and a lot of people lack the fundamental insight on when to get on the roller coaster and when to get off the roller coaster. So let me break it down for you nice and easy. You get on the roller coaster before everybody else gets on the roller coaster. So this is the moment where the cart pulls into the station, the boring part, the part where everybody else is highly disappointed because the ride is over. So you have a little bump at the end. That's kind of where we are now. We have a little bump at the end. And then this down period where nothing is happening. Everybody's kind of talking about, it was a fun ride. Let's do it again. But everybody's very disappointed that the ride is over. That is where you get on. Then you have to be patient and wait for everybody else to get off and get on. This is a down period that might take months or even years. And then suddenly the roller coaster is going to go up. Now everybody else is still waiting patiently for the ride to start. But what you're going to do is you're going to get off the ride, you're going to get off the roller coaster before it gets into the loop, because that is where everybody gets wrecked. So you pull into the station, you get onto the roller coaster, then the roller coaster goes up, and then you have to time exactly where you come off the ride. Now, this is highly illegal when you do it on an actual roller coaster, but with cryptocurrency, it's totally fine. When you see the ride kind of top out, and everybody else starts to scream, this is the euphoric phase. This is where you sell. Then after you've sold, you're going to wait patiently for the roller coaster to come back down in that boring part where everybody starts to get annoyed. That is the moment that you're going to buy back in. That might take weeks, months, or even years. The last thing you want to do is to FOMO back in. You rebuy your Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies at a higher price. After the roller coaster has been going up, it stagnates a little bit, then it goes up a little bit more, and then guess what? It comes crashing down, and everybody else is screaming on top of their lungs because they mortgaged their house and put all of their savings into cryptocurrency, praying for passive income for years to come. Because when they got on the roller coaster, it was already halfway up. They felt safe at that moment. Oh, it looks like this roller coaster is going to go up indefinitely, which is, of course, never the case. They got on halfway. On the way down, they scream, shout, curse at the sky, and then they end up selling right into my hands right before the roller coaster pulls into the station. Now, this is almost passive income for people who are very experienced with the cryptocurrency market or the stock exchange or forex trading. Just keep in mind that even though it's almost passive income now, you really see your trades and you write them out for the next couple of weeks or months, however long you need for this trade to complete. Leading up to that, getting that experience so you can recognize a proper trade and multiply your investment. You're going to be doing a ton of technical analysis, Elliott waves, Fibonacci retracements, keeping track of the news and everything else that's related to the market and the coin or the stock or whatever else you invested in. It's still not 100% passive income. And for the people who didn't do their due diligence researching, they're going to get wrecked freaking hard and lose all of their money. And again, sell into my hands when I see a bargain taking place. And they're unfortunately on their last leg. The bottom line here is that trading is the exchange or the transfer of money from weak hands to stronger hands, or the stupid money to the smart money, right? Keep that in mind. If you're young, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. This is something that comes with age. And as you get more financially secure, you have your savings, you cover all of your expenses on a monthly basis. Then this little bit of extra disposable income that you're not spending on luxury bullshit, this you can now use for the cryptocurrency or the stock exchange. Before you reach that point, look into social media, man. There's so many young kids out there on social media with not much to say, but they have a phenomenal physique, and you can develop a good physique in 2, 3, 4 years. In many cases, you can develop a physique and grow a following that makes you a ton of money well before you get an education. And again, if you get an education, I got one, you don't end up making so much money. You're always capped on what your employer is willing to pay you. With social media nowadays, this is not an entry that I had when I started going to university. So I wanted to follow a career path. But now that I realize that social media is here and you can, well, there's no ceiling. Let's just put it that way. You can make as much money as you're willing to grind towards. If you start with social media when you're young, and even if you don't have an amazing physique, as long as you know how to market yourself well, you can develop a following, and a following equals prospects who can use your discount codes or whatever other service you provide. Social media is probably the easiest and the fastest way to make money. All you have to do is sustain your reputation, because again, reputation takes forever to build and is unfortunately destroyed overnight. So hopefully you don't have any skeletons in the closet, or at least a logical explanation why those skeletons are there. If you're young, you probably didn't live so much of a life just quite yet. So maybe it's better to start early. You get your physique in shape. You start to market that on social media, whether that's on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. You do more of what the people want to see. This is a grave mistake I still make. I just make videos and do content of what I want to make. And sometimes I buckle down and I make the videos that other people want to see. And then I'm surprised, like, why the hell did this get so many views when it's completely uninteresting? So this is a learning experience that everybody has to go through. If you want to be successful on social media, do more of what the people want to see. Give them what they want. Give them what they ask for, and you will be successful. So if you're a good deadlifter, but all the people do is watch your bench press videos, guess what? You're going to do more bench press videos. If you're in phenomenally shredded shape, but you don't get so much engagement, and they would rather see you talk and bullshit and have fun with other people, you're going to do more of the fun stuff. It's very, very simple, even though it's a little bit annoying because now you're not working for an employer, but you're working for the algorithm. You're working for the audience. It's a little bit of a roadblock that you need to get over because you kind of lose your identity this way. You know, people want you to be a certain way. And of course, they're going to talk about you, whether that's on your social media platform or behind your back. There's going to be a lot of peer pressure, a lot of the audience trying to steer you in a direction that you might not want to go into. But if you want passive income, this is probably the best way to go into that, because on social media, you can make money with your passion. So it's not exactly work. And I love making deep dive videos. And even though sometimes I kind of abstain from them because I know the YouTube algorithm and the audience is not going to favor them, because a true deep dive video is over 30 minutes. And again, people get PTSD and anxiety from longer videos whenever I post them. And I can see that from the audience retention. 5 minutes, it's already going down. So personally, I don't feel so motivated to do the deep dive videos. But again, if the YouTube audience wanted me to do all these deep dives, I would make them all day long. So hopefully you'll be able to combine doing what you love with filling the requests of what the audience wants from you. And again, as your audience and following grows, the requests are going to change. So you're going to have to play into your audience and monetize that to a certain extent. Whether that's on YouTube, you can use your AdSense account and monetize your videos. Or maybe you're on Instagram and you market particular products that you believe in personally, that you actually use. Don't start marketing products that you don't use because you want to fill your pockets. That's kind of morally upsetting. And the fitness industry is already full with those kind of guys. So please, if you want to keep your reputation intact and you want to do this for a long-lasting time, only represent the stuff that you use yourself and actually believe in. The last thing you want to be is one of those coach hopping or sponsor hopping professional athletes that every year has a new contract with a new supplement company. And oh, this new supplement company is the absolute shit. I think it's despicable. But again, there's so many guys out there that just hop around because they never get their contracts extended. So it's up to you to monetize everything that you're doing. Make sure that you enjoy yourself. And this way, even though you're grinding 24/7, and trust me, you'll be grinding a lot more working for yourself than when you're working for somebody else. But again, there's no ceiling to the amount of money that you can make. And the amount of money that you can make is solely dependent or partially dependent on your value. And when I say value, the amount of contributions that you're making to the fitness industry as a whole. And this is, of course, very, very broad. You can contribute in a multitude of different ways. Educators, for example, they contribute their experiences, their research, their coaching experience, everything they know to make sure that the fitness industry can make better decisions regarding their diet, their training, their pharmacology, their ancillaries, their supplements. They make sure that the fitness industry is moving forward as a whole and learns from its previous mistakes. Then, of course, you have the fitness models or the guys that purely make training-related content. This can be very inspiring or motivational. Personally, I don't feel that I have a great physique, but the guys that have a very good physique that really train hard or are super shredded year-round, for me, that's motivational and inspirational. And even though I can't really learn anything from them, I can draw inspiration from them to stick to my diet or to train a little bit harder. So everybody can contribute in their unique sense. And if you find your niche and you can contribute something of high value, again, your income streams will stay sustained as long as your reputation stays intact and as long as you're able to reinvent yourself, because people are going to come to you, they're going to gravitate you as a persona, they're going to stay around for maybe 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years, and then they're going to move on to the next best thing. This is a totally normal rate of progression. Nobody's going to stick around with you indefinitely. As long as your overall following grows, your income will grow. Keep in mind that when you're young, you don't have so much experience yet. You don't know how to coach people yet. You don't know how the pharmacology affects your blood work or other people's blood work. And since the bar of educators has now been raised so high, it's probably better just to stick to the motivational physique part. You train hard, you look good, monetize that, have a persona, make sure you're marketable and approachable, right? Because it's a fan-driven sport. You still need to make sure that you talk with everybody that approaches you. And trust me when I say they can be highly time-consuming, just keep in mind that every positive interaction that you have ultimately contributes to your passive income, because it's the people that you interact with, the people that follow you for your value, that are going to use your discount codes. Those are the people that are going to buy your merchandise if you sell that, or sign up for coaching, or use your consultation service, or wherever other affiliate that you're associated with. As long as you give the very large majority of your following value and a positive interaction, if you have enough time to really get back to everybody, which, again, the bigger you are and the more following you have, the harder that's going to be. You still have to try to get back to everybody the best way you see possible. That's how you sustain your passive income, which takes a tremendous amount of time, but interacting with people is not that difficult. And you make damn well sure that you treat everybody like you like to be treated, so the mutual respect is there and stays there. Now again, regarding the passive income, social media is a very easy method to get your name out there, to start your marketing. If you want to do that in the fitness industry, all you need to do is be in shape and have a decent looking physique. I mean, nowadays I see so many young guys on Instagram or YouTube with very large followings, 25,000 followers, 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, multiple million followers on Instagram and a decent amount on YouTube, or vice versa. Guess how much money they're making, dude? And it's not only because of the physique. They have a good physique. Some of them have a decent physique, but not a phenomenal physique. I think the days of having a phenomenal physique but no personality is kind of over, because Instagram is kind of video based and YouTube is kind of video based, and everything is going in the video direction now. So you need to have a personality besides the physique. And again, if you have a personality that sustains year round, but your physique is not sustained, you can still monetize your personality. So make sure you develop your personality before you develop your physique, or at least have both to a certain extent, and then start putting it out on social media. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the fitness industry. If you love to play with Legos, go make a YouTube channel or an Instagram page about Legos. There's a large group of people out there that like Legos, or like video games, or like cars, or like rock climbing, or like chess. Do what you love, and you will never work a day in your life, even though you're doing what you love from start to finish of the day. And then your life is going to end up similar to something like this. You wake up doing what you love. You're doing what you love all day long. Then you go to bed doing what you love. Monday to Saturday. Sunday the phone is off. Sunday you don't read emails. Sunday you don't check the social media platforms, because you want to spend your entire Sunday, or Saturday if you prefer, with your significant other. No other people in your life. One day out of the week, unless it's for a real emergency. Monday to Saturday, you grind. Sunday, you rest and chill. Then at the end of the month, you manage passively all of your income streams. You add the total together, and whether you have 2 income streams or 15, you add it all together. You're amazed at the numbers. And then you realize you don't really have time to spend any of it, because you're so busy doing what you love. So hopefully doing what you love is kind of expensive, or at least you have a very expensive hobby on the side that you can funnel your residual passive income into, and otherwise dump it all in the cryptocurrency market. Just wait 4 years. You don't have to worry about the peaks and valleys of the roller coaster, because the market cycle is about 4 years, and the return of investment is a little bit over 4 years as well. All of your passive income that you have on the side, and extra, you either spend it on your hobby doing what you love, or you put it somewhere else where it appreciates over time so you can retire early. My hobby is very expensive. I spent a fortune on blood work, performance enhancing drugs, deep tissue massage therapy sessions, and food. And the gym membership is kind of the lowest expense in this equation. But it's all a return of investment, because the more videos I make about my expensive experiments, guess what? The more money I make. And for the younger guys out there, I really hope you got some inspiration or motivation out of this video. Just keep in mind that working for yourself, even though you want passive income, it's never passive. You'll be grinding your socks off 24/7 until you reach that point where you're either sick of the grind, or you're so financially secure that you don't need to grind anymore. And then you take a couple years off from grinding. And guess what? Most guys that retire early, slowly but surely, come back to the grind, because it's about making money, not about spending the money. Keep that in mind, guys. Really hope it was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find everything that I'm associated with down below in the YouTube description section. Have a look at some of my sponsors and affiliates. Use my discount codes so you can save yourself some money while shopping online. I have more sponsors and affiliates on my website at vigorsteve.com. Head over there, bookmark the articles section. There's a ton of free information there waiting for you to be read. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at vigorsteve. Vigorous crew, you guys know what to do. A frontable bicep for you guys. Self-employment cannons getting larger and in charger as the cycle continues, which is completely funded by several passive income streams. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.